The AI boom is a distraction. While the masses chase the latest browser extension or prompt hack, a structural monopoly is being finalized. Most of what you call AI is just a thin layer of software destined for insolvency. To survive the architect economy, you must ignore the apps and own the infrastructure. Only two nodes matter: Nvidia and Anthropic. One controls the physical reality of compute, the other controls the logical reality of execution. This is not a market trend. It is the fundamental physics of the new economy. This is the blueprint of the sovereign moat. Let's decode the leverage. Software is no longer the bottleneck. In the legacy economy, scarcity was found in labor and distribution. In the new world, scarcity has moved entirely to the hardware layer. Nvidia is not a chip company. They are the digital landlords of the 21st century. Every sovereign system, from local logistics nodes to global finance models, pays rent in GPUs. By controlling the Blackwell architecture, Nvidia has effectively nationalized the path to intelligence. Understand the shift. In a world of infinite digital content, the only thing that remains finite is the silicon required to process it. Nvidia's moat isn't just the chip, it's the CUDA software ecosystem that locks every developer into their hardware. If you aren't building on Nvidia, you are building on an island with no bridge to the mainland. If your strategy doesn't account for the compute rent you owe the silicon gatekeepers, you don't have a business. You have a temporary lease on someone else's property. Every breakthrough you see in the news is simply a tenant paying a higher premium to the landlord. If Nvidia is the land, Anthropic is the law. While the rest of the industry optimized for chat, personality, and engagement, Anthropic quietly optimized for stability, safety, and high-stakes reasoning. For the architect, Claude is not a chatbot, it is a reasoning engine. Their focus on constitutional AI and massive context windows means they've built the only layer capable of managing systemic complexity without hallucination. We are moving from the era of search to the era of delegated execution. In an execution network, you don't need an AI that can write poetry. You need an AI that can audit a supply chain or manage a multi-agent workflow without breaking the logic. Anthropic is the only lab providing the reliability required to run a business on an AI backbone. They have moved past the stochastic parrot phase and into the logic layer of the new world. When you use Claude, you aren't talking to a machine, you are interacting with a highly refined protocol for decision-making. 99% of the AI tools you see today are wrappers, thin interfaces sitting on top of these two giants. In a hyper-efficient market, the middleman is a friction point that the market eventually erases. The wrapper era is ending. The architect economy doesn't need more apps. It needs proprietary systems built directly on the infrastructure. When you bypass the resellers and build your execution network directly on Nvidia's power and Anthropic's reasoning, you achieve 100% margin on your intelligence. Think about the architecture. A wrapper app charges you a subscription to access a model that they are already paying for. They are arbitrageurs of convenience. But as the architect, you don't pay for convenience, you pay for control. This is why these are the only bets that matter. They are the raw ingredients of sovereignty. Everyone else is just selling you a marked up version of the same air. If your business can be replaced by a single update to the underlying model, you are not an architect. You are a casualty waiting to happen. The real power emerges when you realize these two nodes are merging into a single execution layer. Nvidia provides the raw horsepower to process billions of parameters in milliseconds. Anthropic provides the constitutional framework to ensure those parameters result in a logical, safe, and actionable outcome. This is the intelligence stack. Hardware at the base, logic in the middle, your proprietary system at the top. Most creators are trying to build the top layer without securing the bottom two. They are building skyscrapers on top of a swamp. As an architect, your job is to secure the connection between the silicon and the reasoning. You must treat compute as your primary commodity and logic as your primary currency. Any bet outside of this stack is a gamble on a surface-level trend. Stop playing the consumer's game. The consumer buys the app. The architect owns the infrastructure. The consumer looks for features. The architect looks for moats. Nvidia secures the hardware. Anthropic secures the logic. Your job is to secure the system that connects them. The window to claim your node in this network is closing. The infrastructure is set. The gatekeepers are known. The war room of the future isn't filled with people. It's filled with clusters of H100s running Claude-level logic. If you aren't positioning yourself now, you will be a subject of the infrastructure, not a master of it. Stop chasing. Start building. Node online.